Hello students, plus one math. Let us discuss introduction of conic section.
Now we are going to use a double cone to visualize conic sections. To do this, we are going to cut our double cone at different angles. For the first angle, we are going to take a very flat plane which is at an angle of 0 degrees. When we cut our cone using this, we get a circular shape. As you can imagine very well that we are going to have a circle at every level, at every layer in the cone. Now I have increased the angle of my plane a little. Now, when I cut my cone at this angle, my circular shape does not remain anymore and it has stretched out a bit to create an ellipse. Now in the third situation, I am going to increase the angle of my plane further and I have reached at an angle such that this plane is now parallel to my cone. At this angle, when we cut the cone, the new shape that we are now getting is called a parabola. Now in the fourth situation, I have increased the angle even further. Now in this situation, when I cut my double cone, you can see that both my cones are now giving me two independent shapes and both of these together are called a hyperbola. So what we saw here was we can get 4 different shapes by the same double cone when we cut it at 4 different angles. And that is why all these 4 shapes are collectively called the conic sections. Now, we are going to observe a very interesting property of conic sections. According to this property, if light is thrown at a spherical object from different angles, we will get different conic sections as a shadow. Now we are going to look at the same thing in an experiment. For this experiment, I am going to need a ball and a torch so that I can throw the light on the ball. Now so that I can see the shadows clearly, I am going to dim the lights. Now for the first position, I am going to place the torch above the ball. Now since the torch is placed exactly above the ball, the shadow that I am going to get is going to be circular in shape. So the first conic section that I am getting is a circle. Now I am going to tilt the torch a little, and when I start tilting the torch, the shadow becomes a little elongated and now it has taken a new shape. This shape will be called an ellipse. Now I have tilted the torch further and I have reached a particular point such that the height of my ball is at the same level as my torch. Now at this point, the shape I am getting is like a U shape and this shape is called a parabola. Now when I further lower my torch, the shape of the parabola becomes sharper and the shape that I am now getting will be called a hyperbola. So you saw that when I changed the position of my torch, I was getting 4 different conic sections for different positions of the torch. You can also try this experiment